cover on the pointer the last part of part 1. So last time we have covered part of the notes already. So we have come across what means to be pointer. Pointer just means that we store the memory address, right? And then we can point to different variable out there, and how we declare the variable, how we assign on the address of num, and then we have covered on what means to be address, and how we can make use of the referencing operator. So other than that, we have go through on the example, how we change on the content for the other. In terms of precedence, it is before all those other operators for multiply, division, modulus, etc., etc. Pointer arithmetic, when we plus, it simply means we shift the address to the next. Minus means getting the previous address. So it's useful when we are referring to an array. So when we got pointer to the list, it means that we got the pointer. So when we got plus equals to 2, it means that we shift 2 boxes in the array. 咁呢度面啦，加減係啲咩嚟嘅呢？即係講緊個地址喺個 array 之中向後褪定向前褪啫。加嘅時候就向後褪啦，減嘅時候就向前褪嘅。So subtracting between two pointers simply means the position among them。咁呢度嘅例子啦 ，pointer one 同 pointer two 指住兩 array 之中嘅兩格，將兩個 pointer 相減，即係呢兩個 pointer 嘅地址相減啦。咁得出嚟嘅數目字係講緊喺呢個 array 之中個 index 嘅差距。咁因為一個係指住1，一個係指住3，所以相減係2。So here the address difference is simply the difference in terms of index. So now let's get into the new part, pointer arithmetic and also expression for assignment. So first of all, when we assign between two pointers, it simply means that we point to the same address for those two pointers. So that's why they must have the same data type. And in terms of comparison, we can make use of equal sign or relational algebra. So when we got equal sign, it means that whether they were the same address or not, or on the other side, we can make use of equals to 0 to check whether the pointer points to a null address. 咁呢度最常用嘅係下面呢個嘅用法啦，就係講緊個 pointer set 去0，定抑或唔係0啦。highlight 咗佢先。So at the end, pointer 1 equals to 0. So the basic usage is that for pointer, either we point to some location out there, or we point to nothing. When we point to nothing, it means it is 0 or null pointer. Okay? Pointer 最常嘅用法啦，一係有指住人啦，一係冇指住，冇指住嘅時候就係0啦。And then other than that, in terms of comparison, it is meaningless unless it is belong to the same array. 除非係講緊同一個 array 之中啦，如果唔係大細嘅比較，純粹係地址上面嘅大細比較，就冇意思嘅。So in terms of array and pointer, they were closely related because array is actually a pointer without is a constant pointer that we cannot change the memory address. 咁其實 array 都只不過係講緊一個 memory address 嚟嘅啫，咁特點只係唔俾改佢嘅地址。So that's why we can also make use of the other notation for the array and using the pointer notation. 咁就算 array 都好啦，我哋都可以當佢係 pointer 咁做。當我當做 pointer 加3，即係 pointer 嘅 location 加3啦，即係講緊下面呢一格啦。然後 dereference 咗佢，即係講緊呢一度個格仔啦。咁我哋 set 佢做78，即係 save 咗78入去。So here the address of the address of the array cannot be changed. We just shift in terms of the address. So the same for the pointer as well. On the other side, we can make use of pointer and turn pointer as an array. 咁呢度面亦都一樣啦。當我哋用 pointer 指住同一個 location 嘅時候，我哋將個 pointer 當成係 array 咁樣用都得嘅。So when we got PTR3, it means that for PTR, it points to the 0 location. And then now we just point into +3. 咁呢度啦，因為個 pointer 本身係指住0嗰格啊嘛，所以 pointer 加3即係講緊加1、2、3啦，即係講緊 pointer 3嘅呢一格 ，right? So that's why for pointer and array, they were interchangeable in terms of referring to different location. The only difference is that pointer can shift. Array 同 pointer 都係講 location， 唯一分別係咩呢？ pointer 指嘅 location 可以加減，可以改咗佢嘅，即係話唔止第一格之後兩格都得。Alright? So there were two different notation. One is the reference by making use of the pointer notation. The other one is making use of the array notation. So that's why for this example, both were the same. We got the array, we got the pointer. So for the array, we can make use of the array notation, just like usual. So right here, the example goes into the following. So when we make use of this square bracket I, it is the array notation, our usual notation, right? So that's why for this one, we just print out all the array element. Another notation, we can make use of plus I and then dereference. It means that we treat the array as a pointer, and still it works the same. On the other side, for the pointer PTR, we can also make use of the array notation, or we can make use of the pointer notation to refer to different element. So both were the same. 呢度會見得到兩個用法可以一樣嘅，即係話 array 可以當 pointer 用 ，pointer 亦都可以當 array 用嘅。Okay? So that's the result. We can see that all of them were the same. So some precaution for all of us. So for pointer can change, but then for array cannot change. So that's why for array is actually a constant pointer. So array is actually a constant pointer. So that's why it cannot be modified. So there is no way to plus, there is no way to assign them. So those doesn't work. Array 同 pointer 最主要分別係咩呢？ pointer 可以加減 ，array 唔可以加唔可以減，即係話佢只係指住定咗一個地方嘅啫。And then for the pointer, it does not always point to the first element. Sometimes we can point to another element. So say for example, at here we got list and then 5. In the beginning, pointer points to list. So at this moment, what we have is that the pointer points to the first one. But then when we got pointer plus equals to 2, it means that it shifts to the 2. To the second one. So it changed on the pointer. So now when we refer to pointer 0, so this one is actually pointer 0. Okay? So now what is pointer 0 now? It is actually list number 2. Alright? So now in case we make use of the pointer with function, we can put the pointer as a parameter for the function. So function has pointer point to the input argument. So it is an indirect reference to the variable in another scope. It is the same as pass by reference. So for example, at here we got the main equals to num equals to 5. So in the main scope we got num equals to 5, and then we got cube num and then ampersand num. So within the ampersand, within the cube num, at here we got the pointer. So what it means is simply that for this pointer, it points to the address of num. So that's why at here, actually the pointer points to the address of num as well. So at here, it points to there by pass the address to the function. So that's why it points to the same location. So once we are looking for the operation, so this one a little bit difficult to read. So actually it means dereference the pointer, multiply dereference of the pointer, multiply dereference of the pointer. So in other words, we are looking for the dereference, that is the num out there, and then we multiply by itself for 3 times. So 5 times 5 times 5 turns to be 125. And then after that, we save it back into the location. So that's why at here it is 125. Right? So now when we make use of the pointer, we can put it into the function. So then now it is part of the input argument. And at the same time, because for array, list is an array. Array can be treated as a pointer, so that's why we can just pass an array into a function which expect a pointer. 咁呢度得意嘅地方係咩呢？因為 array 係 constant pointer 啦，所以我哋可以直接將佢當係 pointer 咁用，將佢放落去個 function 入面，咁佢就好似 pointer 咁樣一樣噶啦。So that here, the parameter that we are looking for is actually a pointer to integer. And then in terms of array, the array address is actually stored in the array name. So that's why we just pass it. And then after that, it turns to be a pointer, and we can calculate the answer by referring to the pointer, or actually the array. So the question now is that can we use this function to keep an integer variable? 如果啦呢度 pass 入去嘅唔係一個 array 啦，而係一個純粹一個數嘅話，又做唔做到呢？ Still, we can do so, but then it is a little bit strange. So let's take a look to the cube array first. Cube array would get the pointer and then the size. After that, for each pointer location, we dereference it and multiply it for 3 times, right? So now, when we pass a num and address out there, it means that in the memory. So inside the memory, what we have is just one num. And then we store 5 into there. So when we got it for the address, then the pointer is just the address. So it means that inside the cube array, pointer will just point to this one. So now because the size is 1, so that's why it will only execute for 1. So it will calculate 5 times 5 times 5, turn it into 125. So this one is still valid, right? 咁呢度嘅特點係咩呢？ call 佢嘅時候，我哋淨係俾咗個 num 嘅 address 落去啦。咁 num 嘅 address 都等同於一個 pointer 啫，所以呢度我哋可以 save 入去個 pointer 度。咁只不過今次嘅 pointer 指住嘅係 num 嗰一格，咁我哋淨係計嗰一格啫。如果呢度 pass 入去個 size 唔係1 ，pass 咗個 size 係2嘅話呢，咁個 program 都會 work， 不過就會好奇怪啦。當佢係2嘅時候，即係話下一個佢會褪去下一格啦。 但下一格係咩嚟嘅呢？下一格係唔知嚟嘅。So in case we gave a size greater than 1, then the pointer will still work. It will go to the next boxes, but then for the boxes, what is stored is unknown to us because we didn't allocate as an array, right? Pointer 唔會理你嘅 ，pointer 淨係一個數字嚟嘅啫嘛。你如果俾咗個 num 佢，佢當然指住個 num 啦。但係如果你俾咗個 size 係2嘅話，個 for loop 第2次會跳去下一格啦，即係 num 嗰個 address 之後嗰個 integer。 咁佢會照改嘅，但係改出嚟咩呢？就唔知啦。Alright. So at here we have the pointer pointing to the variables. We did it already. So num equals to 10, and then pointer points to the address of num. So at here, the variable num can be used from its declared scope until the scope has end. So the memory is reserved for the num. And here the pointer is redundant in the same scope. It means that it is indirect reference using pointer is unnecessary. So that here we can just make use of the num. 首先啦，頭先最初頭學第一個 pointer 嘅 notation 係用緊呢一種方式啦，即係話喺同一個 scope 之中有 num 亦都有 pointer 啦。咁其實咁樣做個意思唔大嘅，原因係因為喺呢一個 scope 之中，我哋直接用 num 已經 work 㗎啦嘛。其實用個 pointer 就冇乜特別大嘅意思嘅 ，right? So in the same scope, there is nothing much to make use of the pointer. So now we get into the last part, that is the dynamic variable.